My dear children, today I am going to explain you about the Supreme Court of India. In India, the judiciary is single, integrated and unified. That is, we have one law for the whole country. There is hierarchy in the judiciary in India. At top, at the apex level, we have the Supreme Court. Below the Supreme Court, we have the High Courts. And below the High Courts, we have the subordinate courts. The subordinate courts are of three kinds: civil courts, criminal courts, and the courts of revenue. But in this video, I am only explaining about the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India. In this, I will explain you the powers and the functions of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is at the apex level. It is the highest court in India. So in this, I'll tell you about the appointment of the judges of the Supreme Court and the qualifications required to become the judge in the Supreme Court. The judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President, and the qualifications the judges require to become the judge in the Supreme Court are as follows. He should be a citizen of India. He should have practiced as judge for at least 5 years in one or more high courts, or as an advocate for at least 10 years. He should be a distinguished jurist, and a judge of the Supreme Court holds office till the age of 65 years. So these are the essential qualifications a person requires. Now there is a process to remove a judge which is called impeachment. This impeachment can be done only in case of proven misbehavior and incapacity. This impeachment is a very difficult procedure. In this, a motion is passed by both the houses of parliament by 2/3 majority. No judge of India has been impeached so far. So there is a procedure in which a motion addressed to the president, which should be signed by at least 100 members of Lok Sabha and 50 members of Rajya Sabha should be there. Then there are investigating committees who they will see the charges against the judge. The inquiry committee is there. So this motion is carried out in each house of the parliament, which is not an easy thing. So this process of impeachment is very, very difficult. Supreme Court is the highest interpreter of the Constitution of India. The Constitution, which is the supreme law, the fundamental law of the land. Supreme Court is the guardian as well as the interpreter of the Constitution. Then we have one Supreme Court in India. It is located at Tilak Marg, New Delhi. Supreme Court has different powers and functions. This is the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, which is given under different titles. Each title will be explained to you in brief. So first I will explain you the guardian of the Constitution. Supreme Court is the guardian as well as the final interpreter of the Constitution. No law in the country made by the legislature and the executive can go contrary to the Constitution, because Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Any such law which is not in accordance to the Constitution will be declared as null and void by the Supreme Court. Now I will discuss the original jurisdiction with you. Original jurisdiction means the cases which comes directly to the Supreme Court, or which comes at very first instance to the Supreme Court, comes under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Now these kinds of disputes, they include when there is dispute between One side is the government of India, that is the central government, and on other side is one or more states. Or if there is dispute between the government of India and other states, states on one side and one or more states on other sides, when there is a dispute between two or more states. Also, Supreme Court is the guardian protector of fundamental rights. Means our fundamental rights, if they are violated, then the person can seek justice from Supreme Court by issuing the following writs, which are very, very important to give protection to the fundamental rights which are given to the citizens of India. These 5 writs are habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, quo warranto. First, I will explain you about this first writ, habeas corpus. Habeas corpus means body has to be there. That means the person who is arrested has to be produced before the magistrate within 24 hours of his arrest. This gives protection against any kind of arbitrary detention of a person. So that person has to be there in front of the magistrate within 24 hours. Mandamus. Mandamus means we command. That is a command given by the superior court to the inferior court, or an administrative authority to perform certain duty. So this is a command, an order from the superior court to the inferior court. Prohibition. Prohibition means that it is an order issued by a superior court to a lower court to stop proceedings in a case which might be in excess of the jurisdiction of the lower court. Certiorari. It means that it is by a superior court to a judicial authority desiring to be informed of what is going on. So though this, it appears similar to the writ of prohibition. There is a difference. Writ of prohibition is issued when certain proceedings are going on. Writ of certiorari is issued after the order has already been passed by the lower court. Quo warranto means by what authority or by what order it is issued when a person has usurped any office. This writ prevents public officers from forcibly or wrongfully holding a high public office. So these 5 writs are very, very important. So Supreme Court is the guardian of fundamental rights. Now I will come to the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Means all cases of appeal from the high courts to the Supreme Court. This comes under the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. A court of appeal is a court which may change the decision or reduce the sentence passed by the lower courts. The Supreme Court is the final court of appeal. It has powers to grant special leave to appeal against the judgment delivered by any court in the country. An appeal lies to the Supreme Court from any judgment or final order of a high court in India. Appeal to the Supreme Court can be made in 3 kinds of cases. These are the constitutional cases, the civil cases, and the criminal cases. So to these cases, the appeal can be made to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also acts as advisory. Advisory means President may ask from the Supreme Court for its opinion in case of question of law or fact. So it acts as advisory court also. It has advisory jurisdiction, that is to give its opinion on any question of law or fact of public importance as may be referred to it for consideration by the President. Any question of law may be referred to the Supreme Court if the President considers that the question is of public importance and it is necessary to obtain the opinion of the Supreme Court. Such opinion of the Supreme Court is advisory, not binding on the government, nor is executable as a judgment of the Supreme Court. disputes arising out of pre-constitution treaties and agreements which are excluded from this original jurisdiction by Article 131 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court is the interpreter of the Constitution and its decision is final. So it is the final interpreter. So this is the power of judicial review of the Supreme Court. It has the power to review laws passed by the Union or state legislatures. The Supreme Court can declare a law as ultra vires or null and void if it is against the Constitution, letter and spirit of the Constitution, or contravenes any provision of the Constitution. This power is referred as the power of judicial review. The minimum number of judges to hear and decide a case involving interpretation of the Constitution shall be 5. The Supreme Court has the power to review all national and state laws and executive orders and declare them null and void if they go against the provisions of the constitutions. So this was the power of judicial review of the Supreme Court of India. Then Supreme Court as a court of record. This means that the Supreme Court judgments are recorded for evidence and testimony. The judgments are in the nature of precedents. The high courts and other courts are bound to give a similar decision in a similar case. They are not to be questioned when they are produced before any subordinate court. The Supreme Court shall be a court of record and shall have all the powers of such a court, including the power to punish for contempt of itself, according to Article 129 of the Constitution. Then, my dear children, there are various other powers which come under the category of the miscellaneous powers of the Supreme Court. They concern with transfer of cases, appeals from one high court to another, withdrawal of cases from one high court to another, then law declared by Supreme Court, it is binding on all the courts. Article 142 has a provision of imparting complete justice and all those rule-making powers for its own administrative purpose, interpretation of the Constitution. So all these are the other powers of the Supreme Court of India. That is all about the powers and functions of the Supreme Court of India. For rest of the courts, High Court and subordinate courts, you'll be given another video. So please stay tuned. I hope you liked it. Thank you, children.